Hold your ears, folks. It's showtime.
Welcome to the motherfucking
Utterly Pointless
podcast.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your host,
the greatest man in the world,
Michael.
Hey everybody, remember me? That's right. I know it's been a couple months since you've had an original episode of the Utterly Pointless podcast, and I'm sorry for that, but to be honest with you, I've just been busy, and in a lot of cases, I just didn't fucking feel like it. I know it's been a month since I put out an episode, and that one was actually not a new episode, but a previous show that I had done called Bropocalypse. Now, I do have 6 more episodes of that I am going to try and work in here over the next few months as a way to kind of give myself a break and to provide some more consistent content. Like I said, I thought I needed a little bit of distance because I was trying to decide how I wanted to work the show. I've said this many times. You know, I want it to be just whatever I want it to be, but I do want it to be some structure to it, or have some structure to it, I should say. So, I'm going to continue to do wrestling, but I'm not going to try and do half and half shows like I was doing before. It's kind of a pain in the ass, and some things, because of time constraints, I don't want the episodes to be too long. I didn't want to, drone on the first half and then, go do 45 minutes of wrestling and have this hour and a half show. So I kind of cut it down and pay attention to the time a little bit more. I'm not going to do that anymore. If it's a 30-minute show, it's a 30-minute show. If it's an hour and a half, it's an hour and a half. I don't give a shit. Still going to do wrestling shows. What I'll do is occasionally before pay-per-views, big pay-per-views, I'll do the basically just a wrestling show. It doesn't mean it's going to be all wrestling. If I have other things to talk about, of course, I'll throw them in. For instance, this show is going to be a non-wrestling show. However, at the very end, I'll take about 5 minutes. Money in the Bank is this weekend. By the time I get the show up and everybody hears it, the Money in the Bank pay-per-view will pretty much be over. But I just want to throw in my 2 cents and just get my predictions in, just to see how close I am. And then, I can't come back and say, oh, man, I knew this guy's going to win and stuff, because you'll have the audio proof I was fucking wrong on it. But I'm not going to do the rundowns of the Raws and SmackDowns anymore. If there's a cool storyline or something going on for build for a pay-per-view, I'm definitely going to touch on it when I go through the pay-per-view show, whatever. Next wrestling show I'll do, the big one will be, of course, for the Great Balls of Fire pay-per-view, which is the worst pay-per-view name of all fucking time. But it's in Dallas, so yours truly will be going to it. So I'm pretty excited. Definitely, you guys will get beaten down with the full rundown of crowd, anything else that goes on beforehand. I'm dragging my son to it with me, so that's about 4 weeks away. So here in another few, you guys got at least 2 or 3 weeks where it's going to be a non-wrestling centric show. Like I said, I'm going to try and do this about every week. I do my best because I've only got a couple more months until most likely my son's going to be born. And that could work one of 2 ways. Either I'll be so tired and I won't be able to do anything because he's here that I will probably focus more on trying to do the podcast and probably put a little bit more effort into my other show, The Intellectual Saviors, on the Intellectual Saviors Network. Speaking of which, it's a running joke between us, the whole network thing. It's just a couple podcasts we do, and we say this because you can go to the Intellectual Saviors Facebook page, type in the Intellectual Saviors, easy enough, sign up, friend us, whatever the fuck you do, join us, I don't even know Facebook that much, to be honest with you. Do that on Facebook. And then all the shows, my show, this show here, the Utterly Pointless podcast, the Intellectual Saviors, my friend Eric's other show, the Totally Worthless podcast, and we've added our other one, my friend Brad, who if you listened to the Bropocalypse show last time, he was my co-host on that previously. him and his best friend Andy do a show called Andy and the Bradtastic Voyage, which I sat in on last week. I think it was their 30th episode. So if you want to catch my fine work on that, definitely hit that up. Like I said, links are on that. I'll be putting the links out on Twitter as well. So you can find us on Twitter. All the shows are on iTunes. So, and with this show, I'm asking you guys, if you haven't gone to iTunes yet, give it a quick rating. All you got to do is literally click a star and you're done. If you want to leave a comment, the shittier the comment, the better. I don't care if you give me a 1-star rating, 5-star rating, doesn't matter to me. I want you guys to just do whatever you feel is best. So, let's see. What to fucking start with? Oh, it's been so long since, man, so many things have gone on. Went through a couple holidays. Had Mother's Day, Memorial Day, Father's Day is coming up this weekend. I was ran the gamut over the last few months. I can't say I've done anything super exciting to go over with you guys too much. I kind of been real lazy, man. We got rid of the kids for the summer. Mine's with my mom, staying at grandma's, doing yard work and chores and stuff for her, and pretty much probably just playing video games all night and sleeping all day, I imagine. I mean, I've checked on him a couple times. And let's see, the other two with their father out in, where the fuck are they? Oh yeah, South Carolina. Jeez, man, brain fart. So it's been kind of nice. I've had literally about 2 weeks, almost full weeks, where it's just been me and the wife at home. And she works late the nights that she works. So I've had a lot of me time, which I have not had in the past basically 3 years. So, again, I have no excuses for not having put on the show. But one good thing about it I can say is I've been able to catch up on some shows and stuff of my own. Not podcasts so much, but House of Cards just released on Netflix. So over the last couple weekends, I fucking shotgunned that thing. Which, I gotta say, man, I got mixed emotions about Netflix. It's awesome. Don't get me wrong. If there's shows on there that you're into. And, I like House of Cards quite a bit. And there's a couple others that are, I don't know. There's one called Love. It's a fucked up little romantic comedy thing. I don't know if it's really romantic. It's a fucked up show. I watched that. There's a couple other things on there. I'm just kind of biding time now for the next month, too, until Game of Thrones comes back. Excited as fuck about that. Great thing is, there'll be I think 6 or 7 episodes, and then we won't see it again for another year and a half. Oh my god, dude, it's such a thrashing. Just throw the goddamn last 12 episodes or whatever out. Let's just get it over with. I don't like this prolonging, dragging shit out. It makes me insane. Which, going back to Netflix, is the greatness of it, or what's awful about it, I guess, as well. Because I just watched House of Cards. I can't even remember. It's either 12 or 13 episodes. Most of the time, that's about the way it is. 10 to 12 episodes of a new show. And it's great that they put out a whole season at once, and then everybody just binges it. And now it's like, fuck, now I gotta wait another year before this comes up. And it's like, I'm watching... So they do a recap at first. And it's literally like a 3-minute recap of 14 hours of fucking show from last season. And I mean, I watched this show. I've seen every episode. And I'm watching the recap and I'm thinking, man, I forgot about this shit. I forgot about this shit. I forgot about this shit. I'm like, God damn it. Then I'm almost like, fuck, do I need to go back and watch the last couple episodes or something last season so I can kind of refresh my memory? But then this season starts up and I'm not going to, if anybody out there listens or watches it, I'm not going to give away anything in it. The only thing I'll say about this season is usually it seems like there's so much shit going on and they're getting entangled in so many things and they find all these awesome ways to get out of it. That's not changed a lot. Although I would have to say this season was the most dumbed down as far as how many dramatic things were going on at once. It was a lot easier season to keep up with. When they do the recap next year, I'll be like, yeah, I kind of remember. It wasn't so much fucking insanity going on last year. So, but I don't know if you're a fan of the show. Still pretty goddamn solid. Like I said, a little different this year, but man, it was awesome. Now I'm so looking forward to waiting another fucking year so I can see what happens next year. So I said the binge thing's great, but it sucks because too, if I sit down and start binging it, it's almost like if I don't finish that show, like whatever, like I'm trying to do it in a weekend, right? Or over the course of a couple weekends. If I don't finish it, I don't know about you, but I've done this with a couple of the series on there where I'll start to watch it and I'll binge like I think there's what the fuck is the show on there? Bloodline or something. You guys probably know what I'm talking about. It's about this fucking family and they got this dark secret. And I don't know. I watched literally about 2/3 of the first season and it's a decent show. I mean, I was kind of into it, and after I invested so much, I'm like, I'm going to finish this. Then there's only like a couple seasons up at the time. But then I put it off for a week. I put it off for another week. I put it off for another week, and then it's like, fuck it. Now it's been 2 years since I watched that, and I think they've already put out like 2 more seasons. But, so it's like, fuck it. I'll probably never go back, because now it's like I'm in the middle of a season, so I won't know what the hell's going on when I go back and watch it. And like I said, there's the greatness of Netflix, and then there's the shit aspect of Netflix, and that's the problem with it. It's like, man, if you're going to invest, you got to invest and stick with it. And if you don't binge, then you pretty much, that's the kind of shit that happens, because it's one good thing I like about just regular shows on TV, or I watch a lot of like shows on HBO, like a Game of Thrones, something. Set the fucking DVR, you tape all your shows, and it doesn't matter if you forget about for 2 or 3 months, because every time you pull up that DVR listing, it's right there. And then, you can go on and just bust out a couple at a time and delete them as you go, and, you knock out the season. Or if you have asshole teenage boys in your house like I do, who, when I was watching my Walking Dead, I watched the first couple episodes this year, and then I kind of fell behind, but I'm taping them all, right? But then they're going to watch them, so I'm telling them, like, you guys got to keep it down. I don't want you telling me what the hell is going on. They're fine about that, but then one of the goddamn knuckleheads erased like 2 or 3 of the shows in the middle of the season. I'm like, I didn't realize until like the very end of the season, because I was going to try and do like a binge and catch up for the finale. And I'm like, I'm missing like fucking 3 episodes. So, of course, nobody did it, Oh, I don't know how that could have possibly happened. I don't know, man. How the fuck do you think it happened? You think they deleted themselves? The ghost in the house fucking deleted them because he's like, fuck Michael. Fucking erase these goddamn shows. You're not going to watch Walking Dead. So now I got to wait because it's not on fucking Hulu. And I know they'll do a marathon before next season. So basically what I either have to do is set it to re-record all the episodes next time they do a marathon so I could watch them, or I got to wait until next season begins, do like I normally do, tape all my shows, because I tape everything. I barely ever watch anything live anymore, even sporting events, and I know some people that make insane, but dude, I'm sorry, but even on a football game, like I'll watch my Cowboys play. I usually won't start watching the game until an hour later. Just don't look at fucking Twitter. Just don't look at Facebook, and you're good. Let that thing build up, and I'm just blowing through commercials left and right. I'm saving my time, because we don't have a lot of time on this earth, and I'm already in my 40s. You know what I'm saying? Every fucking minute counts. It's all precious at this point. So, anyway, it's enough. Like I said, I haven't really done anything. I fucking binging some shows, cleaning goddamn house, trying to get it straight after the last year of abuse from children who half-assed their chores. So they've done that. Spent a lot more quality time with Kitty Cat. Me and her bonded quite a bit over the past few weeks with me having all this me time. Other than that, like I said, not a whole hell of a lot's going on. Waiting for baby to come. Waiting for some wrestling show to happen here in a month. That's about it. Oh, another fun nugget though. Before I get into it, I got some stories that I've actually been saving for about the last few weeks, pretty much for about the last goddamn month that I wanted to go over. I want to start doing news segments for you guys, kind of a little bit around the globe. Most of them are going to be, of course, here in the good old US of A, the greatest country on earth. But I'm going to start doing like news segment for you guys a little bit because, like I said, between radio stuff, other podcasts, I hear some shit. And like I said before, I did my fake news show. If you guys heard that, well, I pulled 2 or 3 really fucked up stories. I'm so happy. I'm like, oh my God, these are so fucking nuts. And I want to tell you guys about them. And then I always double check my sources. I'm not like the fake news media. I double check my sources. So if I can't find the story in 2 or 3 places, then I'm not bringing it to you. Because I don't... Hey, man, I'm a trusted journalist, you know. I need the trust of my listeners. And I'm not going to come at you with fucking nonsense unless I have verified and double checked. Now, if I find a couple different sites and it's still fucking bullshit, that's not on me at that point. Because I did my due diligence. I Googled. So, anyway, what the fuck was I going to say? Oh, yeah. So, like I said, this weekend, big weekend, Money in the Bank. It's going to be awesome. Tomorrow, however, is Saturday for me. It's, what the hell today is June 6th. Tomorrow will be the June 17th. So, that'll give you guys a little bit of a timeline. I should start saying that at the beginning of the shows, right? But these shows are so fucking herky-jerky. I'm all over the place. You can listen to these really anytime. Unless you were listening for the wrestling part, which I really only do that segment for myself. I don't fucking care if you guys like wrestling or not. You know, you suck it. You either fucking listen to it or you turn it off. I don't give a fuck. Anyway, so I got a wedding tomorrow. My wife's... I don't know if I'd consider her best friend. One of her better friends. She's got a few that she's pretty tight with. This is a girl she went to nursing school with. They worked together way back in the day before they started nursing school together. And so they've been buddies for quite a while. And she was dating the guy she's marrying, maybe about about a year, almost a year before me and my wife got together. So they've been at it a little bit longer. She'll never listen to this, but I'll just say she's a little wishy-washy, I think. And I think she might have been kind of like keeping the guy on a string, just hoping maybe something else better would pop up. But the dude's a really good guy. I mean, he's pretty cool. Well, I wouldn't say he's cool, but he's a good guy. You know what I mean? But he's real friendly and everything. Nice guy. So, anyway, I got to go fucking deal with that tomorrow. She's maid of honor, so she's been spending all day today with her little Yenta friends, and they're getting wedding nonsense together. Thank God. Man, like, we did basically courthouse wedding. And then we took a cruise later, and we had the captain, like, marry us, and actually had a little ceremony. I mean, like, we dressed up, got pictures, like, you paid the extra for, like, the wedding thing. I mean, it wasn't too bad, you know, like, the pictures, the wedding thing, you get the little cake, dress up, they get a little ceremony. Like I said, the captain of the ship married us, and we have this, like, book and this placard thing, and I thought it was cool. I never had been on a cruise, and so it was kind of cool. It was like wedding, honeymoon, everything in one. It's a fantastic idea. If you don't want to fucking spend a ton of money and you want to have a cool experience and you don't want a bunch of people around ruining everything, or you have to worry about shit, I never wanted the big wedding. It's too much. You're spending too much of your own time and own money for something that's a 50% chance it's going to fail. Let's be honest. You know what I'm saying? You're going to spend $20,000 on a wedding, and most of them end in like the first, 3 to 4 years? Come on. Fuck that. We spent a couple $1,000s, and we got a vacation, we had the wedding, all that nonsense taken care of. It's like, if a few years go by and you end it, it's like, well, we got a good vacation out of it. You know what I'm saying? But it's not going to ever happen now because we got baby and we're older. So it's like no matter how much we decide we hate each other in a few years, fucking just could suffer through it. You know what I'm saying? But no, the wife's been helping. She's, like I said, maid of honor. That's right. Yeah. Maid of honor. As you could tell, I try and avoid weddings and stuff as much as possible. So I have to go by myself tomorrow because her and the girls that are all the bridesmaids, her little nursing school friends, and they're staying tonight at a hotel like in Dallas and stuff near where the wedding is because they're going to be they're probably doing rehearsal dinner and all that stuff now. Oh my God, I'm so glad we didn't have to go through all that. Jesus. Man, I'm telling you, you guys have been married or you've been through it before. You know it. Look, if the ladies are listening, I love you girls. And I know weddings are a big deal to you. They're the biggest fucking beating of all time. Biggest waste of money, biggest beating of all time. I'm sorry, but they are. So I got to roll out there tomorrow. Basically, I'm by myself tonight and tomorrow, so I'll be doing a lot of jerking off to fucking really fucked up porn, just wide out in the open because there's no kids and stuff, so it's awesome because my computer's like out in the middle of the fucking house in our little office area that's wide open. So I'm going to be out there just fucking cranking them out tonight to some fucked up shit. Dude, I could do any fucking thing I want. It's great. Actually, I could pull it up on the big screen. Might just fucking do that. Sit on the fucking couch, throw a towel down, fucking make some magic. You guys don't want to hear about that. Anyway, so that's the fucking weekend ahead. Anyway, god damn it, man. I was going to get in these stories. See, this is why I got to cut out the fucking wrestling, because I start doing this. You guys are all insane right now. I know. You're all like, what the hell are we listening to? This motherfucker is gone for 2 months. What the hell is going on? I didn't have a psychotic snap. I swear to God. It's one of those things. Anyway, story time, kids. So, let's see what we have in the story bin for y'all today. So, like I said, I'd say this week in the news, but it's not really this week. Like I said, this shit's over a month I've been saving for you guys. I'm going to start, I think, with the most disturbing story. And then I'm going to work my way down to something that's a little bit more cheerful. You know, because we want to end on a positive note. At least story time. Or the news. We'll call this the news. Yeah. I'll put in a sounder for the news. You'll have already heard it, but it will relate to the news in some fucking way. Let's see. So this goes to Brisbane, Australia. Brisbane police thought that they had come across a Halloween prank when they found an Australian man cooking his dead wife's feet in a pot after he allegedly killed her. I mean, that's a red flag, right? An inquest into the death of Mayong Prosetio, totally fucked that name up, I know it, but anyway, Mayong, who was a pre-operational transgendered sex worker. This was his wife. A pre-op transgendered sex worker, was told that police encountered a particularly gruesome scene when they visited the couple's apartment. Police were alerted to the disturbances at the apartment by an electrician who was called to fix the electrical supply, which had blown during a cooking mishap. Okay, as Marcus Volk. Now, Marcus is, of course, the husband of Mayang, the pre-op transgender sex worker. So he was attempting to dispose of the body by chopping it up and cooking it. I didn't say he's going to eat it or anything. It's that whole thing. There's not a lot actually in the story about the whole cooking aspect of it. So I'm imagining that he was going to eat the body to get rid of it. I mean, why would you cook it? But it doesn't say there's any cannibalism within the story. So, anyway, so he blew out the fucking power trying to cook his transgendered wife. Anyway, said the tradesman, the electrician, got the power back online and alerted the building manager over the bottles of bleach, rubbish bags, and the foul stench that he saw or smelt within the apartment. Of course, the manager then called the police to check out these issues. When the officers arrived, Volk had fled the scene armed with a knife, and his body was later found in a rubbish skip, which I don't know what a rubbish skip is, because I'm not fucking Australian. I'm going to imagine like a dumpster, right? Is that what we're going with? After he apparently killed himself. The body of Mayong, I should say, was originally from Indonesia, and Volk and had both of them had been working as escorts in Australia. So there's nothing but red flags at this whole thing. They're both sex workers. One's a transgendered sex worker. One's Indonesian. I guess the other one, I'm assuming Marcus Volk, by the name a little bit, and plus the fact they said that they were married and living in Denmark for a short time before moving to Bali and then eventually to Brisbane. It said Volk's family, who lived close to Melbourne, well, maybe is Australian. Hey, I guess I should read the fucking story before I fucking say stuff. Were not reportedly aware of the wife or their profession. So they were keeping that on the down low, because it'd make for interesting Christmas talk, I'm sure, but they decided not to let the fam know about that. It said previously, a few weeks before this incident took place, that Volk had been to a doctor for anxiety and depression and having sleeping issues and stuff. Evidently, if he was given medications, they didn't quite work. So it's sad story of a marriage ending wrong. Now, I don't suspect that my wife, her friend, and her fiance, soon-to-be husband tomorrow, will probably end in the same situation. First of all, I know that she's not transgendered. She is a female. So I'm aware of that. So, but anyway, next one takes place in the UK. Charlie old chap. I don't do accents. I mean, I could try, but they're really terrible. So I won't be doing those. Anyway, love this story. So a teenager cut off his penis and stabbed his mother with a knife during a psychotic episode brought on by a potent form of cannabis called skunk. See, I always hear skunk weed in the United States, and I'm always like, that's like the roots and stems and seeds and shit of pot. Like, I don't smoke pot, so I don't know. So I'm an idiot on this. So I'm just warning you if you're shaking your head like, no, that's not it. But that's all I always heard it was, like skunk weed. That's all I always hear. But evidently in the UK, they have this stuff called skunk now, and it's like a fucking super fucking powered weed or something. Anyway, I think it talks about more in the story. So let me just read this to you. The father of the teenager said that the drug triggered a psychotic episode, and he's sharing the story in an effort to spread awareness about skunk, as it's called in the United Kingdom. The unidentified man said his son started smoking marijuana when he was about 16, but switched to skunk, which is a much more powerful form of cannabis, out of boredom, and soon became ultra paranoid. The father said, quote, he became delusional. He used to sleep with a tennis racket in his bed because he thought people were living in the walls. It accumulated in the psychotic episode that hospitalized the teen's mother and landed him in a mental institute for 6 months and prison for 2 years. The father described a normal day and evening, but said that the son woke up in the middle of the night, went into a psychotic rage, attacked and stabbed his mother, and then cut off his own penis. It was absolutely devastating. You can't imagine anything of that nature happening, the father said. The father said the teen, who continues to recover from the ordeal, is reconciled with his mother, but has no recollection of the incident. Oh my, it's a tough one, pal. See, this is why we have to ban the fucking marijuana. It'll make you cut your dick off and stab your fucking mother. See, they don't. All these people out there, oh no, it's beneficial and stuff. Jeff Sessions has been telling us that the fucking marijuanas are evil and stuff. See, there's proof of it right there. Don't believe the hype, kids. It's a gateway drug to fucking heroin and death. I'm going to switch the stories around a little bit, because since that one had the penis get cut off, I think it'll flow into this one a little bit better. And this is a happy story. This is a happy, fun story. But I do have one more. But like I said, we're going to reverse order here. So a 40-year-old black man received a penis transplant from a white donor. This is in South Africa. See, we're hitting the globe, motherfuckers. I told you. I'm taking you guys around the world. Around the world with craziness. Because it's everywhere. Not just in this country. Not the only fucking nutty country. So anyway, after 17 years ago, when he lost his own penis in a routine circumcision. Okay. I'm going to hold up on the story for just a second. The dude's 40. He got circumcised when he was 23. I mean, right off the bat, it's like, really? What are we fucking doing? At that point, who the fuck is going to go get their junk cut? I mean, look, I understand, like, in America, everybody's used to it. Or I guess if you're Jewish. But, so, like, some women, they're not used to seeing a fucking, uncut fucking ween. So I could see how that would be maybe disturbing to some. And if you're a guy, you could be oh, Jesus Christ, excuse me. You could be self-conscious. But I imagine, like, most of Europe, and I'd imagine South Africa, since it was kind of run by the, let's say, white European types, for a while, doing some bad things over there. But I'd imagine that it's probably like that as well, where most of the people aren't cut. So I wouldn't think it'd be that big a deal. So why the fuck is this guy getting his fucking shit chopped off when he's in his 20s? It doesn't matter. So anyway, it doesn't say what happened. I don't know what the fuck had happened. Like, that's a really bad mishap. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, they're just gonna get this little piece. Oh, Jesus, fucking, woo! Took a little bit more off than I thought there, Holmes. Sorry about that. I have to imagine it's probably an infection or something. Dude, I mean, no offense to the Africans and stuff. Sure, it's a great place and everything, but it doesn't say where this happened. Maybe it'd been, like, I don't know, fucking out somewhere where the hygiene's not so great. The doctors don't know what the fuck they're doing. I don't know. Sounds risky. I'm just going to say this. Never get a circumcision in fucking Africa. I'm just going to... That's just rule. Put that on the rules list, kids. Anyway, let's go back to the main point of the story. From a white donor. So... This is the first thing I thought, like, so, man, that's going to be really odd. Like, he goes from having, like, fucking sheath over his wing, which evidently that wasn't fucking working for him, so he wanted to get that cut off, I guess, like I said, not to scare women or something. And now he's going to have a fucking white wiener. That's, I hope to God he's, like, really dark black, like purple fucking black, and it's, like, the most, like, fucking Irish guy fucking... palest fucking white ween of all time. It'd be so fucking funny. Oh my God, I'd watch that porn. Anyway though, but that was one of my first thoughts. I'm like, man, what the fuck are they gonna do about this? Well, evidently, because they said a color discrepancy between the recipient and donor organ will be corrected with medical tattooing between 6 to 8 months after the operation. So I'm thinking to myself, wouldn't you want to have that done for, like, can you motherfuckers, like, dye it or tattoo it before you attach it to me? Because after they get it on him, because they're saying, and I think this is pretty awesome, they said that within 6 months, he'll have full urinary, he'll be able to use it for urinary and reproductive functions after 6 months. Pretty goddamn awesome, right? It said, within about a year, he'll have normal erections and be able to have normal sexual intercourse with his fucking white tattooed fucking penis. So that's pretty sweet. So evidently this was the third penis transplant, and this is this team of doctors that did this did the first one, they said, back in December of 2014. The world's first successful one. You don't want to be the guy that they experimented on that wasn't successful, but... maybe that's where they got the fucking penis from. Or maybe they got it from the guy in the UK after he fucking cut it off and threw it out the fucking window, or tried to stab his mom with it. Maybe they said, you know what, you don't really need a dick. We don't need you procreating. And they shipped that bitch off in ice to South Africa. That's what I like to think in my head. I like to think that that the marijuana actually it was beneficial. It gave a man a penis. I mean, you know, stabbed fucker's mom half to death, but, you know. Anyway, so see, that's a good story. Guy got a fucking penis after not having one for 20 years, and now he'll be able to fuck and piss and all kinds of fun stuff. I was going to do this one before that, but fuck it. This is a warning to women, and god damn it, being a man, we don't really give a shit. Like, our junk, like, we'll trim the fucking hair around our balls or something. And when we take a shower, I think besides washing our hair and our pits, probably our fucking junk gets the most attention. Maybe it's just me. I don't know. You guys out there nodding your heads? Yes? Okay. So say it's not just me, ladies. It's everybody else too. So our shit's usually pretty good. And plus, since everything's on the outside, we can see what's going on. I guess women, though, they're always looking for trends to do things to their fucking vaginas. I mean, you know, you'll hear about the labiaplasties, where they cut off some of the labia because it doesn't look as attractive, or they'll stitch it up. There's always the joke, which I'll give my doctor, I get, well, not my doctor, my wife's doctor, you know, after the pregnancy and stuff, is like, hey doc, you know, when you're sewing that up, how about an extra stitch? Tighten that thing up a little bit. You know, there's always this kind of jokes, but I guess women actually, you know, try to come up with things to do. Like they'll do the Kegels. That's it. Kegels. Yeah. Not Kegels. The Kegel fucking exercises that tighten their fucking vag up. Well, this is a trend that doctors are saying you might not want to do, ladies. So if you think about doing this, heed my warning. Don't do it. Women are being warned against trying a bizarre new trend that suggests using ground up wasp. Bzzz. No, that's bees. What does the fucking wasp do? I don't know. They sting your ass too, though. Ground up wasp nest to tighten and rejuvenate their vaginas. So it says there's online retailers that sell these oak gals, which are nests that house wasp eggs before they hatch. And they're touting them as a natural way of cleaning female genitals. It says the product reportedly is crushed into a paste and applied topically, claiming it can also improve a woman's sex life. Yep. It says there are these are being advertised as helping to heal episiotomy cuts, rejuvenate the uterine wall, and clean out the vagina after childbirth. Though there are warnings that it can burn when applied. Really. So there's this Dr. Jen Gunter who says, here's a pro tip. If something burns when you apply it to your vagina, it is generally bad for the vagina. See, ladies, that's not coming from me. That's coming from Dr. Jen Gunter. It could also wreak havoc with good bacteria. That is dangerous practice with real potential to harm. Last year, evidently, there's a thing that was a womb detox trend going about that she spoke out about as well, where people would take these women, fucking crazy ass women, would take bags of perfumed herbs known as a herbal womb detox pearls, which were being promoted as a health boost for women. They'd insert 3 of these balls into their vagina. If a woman can get 3 balls in her vagina, I'll pay to see that too. I'd pay to see the black guy at the white wiener with the fucking girl that could put 3 balls in her vagina. Anyway, off topic. Take the 3 balls, stick them up the vagina for 72 hours. And then I guess it'd do whatever the fuck it did. Gunter explained that leaving a product that is not designed for prolonged vaginal use, which those weren't, is in the vagina is a risk for toxic shock syndrome. So ladies, don't grind up fucking wasp nest and stick them in your twat, and don't put herbal fucking womb pearls in your fucking vagina either. For the love of Christ, stop the fucking nonsense. God almighty. Anyway, so that's news. Just a nice little few things out for you. Again, we had some old segments on one of my old shows, and I'm going to steal those, and I will be using those on this one. Like I said, I'll bust them out occasionally here or there, and, good things to come, hopefully. And I know it's been a long time, and I did have some other things I want to talk about, but I'm like, you know what? I'm going to try and keep this show a little shorter, a little sweeter, because, fingers crossed, in case I'm lying to you, so I am going to try to be more consistent with the show, because it was actually starting to get a few hits after I'd put out a dozen shows or so. It started to build up, and I was, getting more than the 10 I was getting at first. I was getting, 30, 35 hits and stuff. So, to build the show, and I want you guys to listen, and I want you guys to be a part of it. Like I said, you can contact me through the Intellectual Saviors Facebook page, or the Intel Saviors at the Intel Saviors on Twitter. Either way, add me on. We'll probably add you back. I don't know. Not everybody gets added all the time, because I'll go and see who's following us and who's not. But if you are, I'll try to follow you back, so you can slide into our DMs and, send us fucking naughty pics if you're a woman, or if you're a black dude that's got a white penis. Send me that shit too. I'll fucking check it out. I got no qualms with that. Before tattooing though. After tattooing, I don't fucking want to see it. Okay. I'm not into like freak shows. You know what I'm saying? So, anyway, hope you've enjoyed the show. I'm going to do a quick breakdown. Oh, Jesus fucking Christ, it just nailed my mic. I'm going to do a quick breakdown of Money in the Bank. Like I said, that if you are going to be watching it, then by the time you've heard this, it'll already be over. So you can't putting betting odds on what I give you. So, this might mean shit to you. But if you're a wrestling fan and you want to hear what I have to say, then keep on listening, and here we go. Money in the Bank this Sunday. It's going to be awesome. First of all, I just want to point out the fact that doing the women's Money in the Bank ladder match, adding that on for the first one ever, I think is phenomenal. I love how the women are getting more play. I'm not going to say that the women's wrestling is on par with the men's, because it's still not. There are a few of the wrestlers that I think can put on awesome matches, but they're building it. And that's part of it, like they've got more women down in NXT, and they're about to have a big women's tournament on the network, the Mae Young Classic, and they're going to bring a bunch of independent wrestlers and stuff in and try them out. So hopefully there'll be an influx of more women talent pretty soon, and I think it's great. I love, in NXT, I love watching Asuka. I mean, she's fantastic. Charlotte Flair is fucking phenomenal. And then the other ones that they promote pretty good, like a Sasha Banks or Becky Lynch, and some of them, they're really good. They could put on some really good matches, if they're given time and given some leeway to build the story and then actually work it out in the ring. So it's good to see that, like the Hell in the Cell and some of the different matches. We've seen tables matches and cage matches and just different shit like that. It's been great. So hopefully that'll continue to build. I think this is an awesome next step. Now, I guess I'll kind of start with the kickoff show. This match was just announced, so maybe you know about, maybe you don't, and I really have nothing to say about it, but if you watched SmackDown this past week, Zack Ryder showed back up, so it looks like the Hype Bros are back, baby! So, kickoff show, right now, the only match that's scheduled, which I'm sure there'll be at least one more, is the Hype Bros versus the Colognes. I'm going to imagine one of two things will happen in this match. Either they're actually going to have the Hype Bros come back and get the push that they deserve, because I know nobody remembers this, but Zack Ryder, before he got hurt, they were doing a tag team turmoil thing way back in the day for contendership to get the titles. And I think American Alpha had them at the time. It's been too fucking long, man. I don't remember. But they had won it from what I recall, and they never got their chance because of Zack Ryder's injury. I think I'm right on that. It's been a long time ago, guys. Don't hold me to it. But anyway, so either they're going to put them back together and kind of give them a push that they were going to get before the injury, or the only other thing I could think is because they've kind of, without Zack Ryder, looked like they were slightly starting to give Mojo a chance to go single, so maybe they'll have Zack Ryder turn. They don't have a ton of great heels. I mean, Kevin Owens is a great fucking heel, and Baron Corbin's a pretty good number 2 heel on the show, but they need to build a couple more heels up, and Zack Ryder would be a good mid-card heel, I think. So I could see him possibly turning on Mojo. We'll see. I predict if he doesn't turn, then the Hype Brothers win. Otherwise, he turns on Mojo, and who gives a shit. The next match we'll talk about is the Women's Championship, Naomi versus Lana. I don't expect a ton out of this. The matches with Naomi after she won the belt were pretty much all against Charlotte. And if you watch those matches on TV, Naomi has a ton of talent, super athletic. She's got a good look. She's attractive. The audience loves her. Her thing kind of beats me a little bit now. Her little dance out to the thing. She's good. As soon as she gets in the ring, she needs to fucking stop. She just keeps going. It makes me a little crazy. But anyway, the Feel the Glow thing, it connects with the audience stuff. She's solid. I think technically she's got kinks to work out still, which you think after as many years as she's been up, she might have worked out a little bit better. But when she did the matches with Charlotte kind of carried her through them. Now she's going up against Lana, who's never wrestled a singles match on since she's been on the WWE roster. The only time she's wrestled was at WrestleMania a couple years ago here in Dallas, and she literally got tagged in did like 3 or 4 moves, and then that was it. I know she's been working house shows, and a lot of people are saying she was doing Rusev's move, the oh Jesus Christ, I can't think of the name of it right now. I need notes to fucking prepare. But Rusev's fucking move is submission move, stomps their back, gets the arms up, fucking the accolade. There we go. Jesus Christ. She was doing that. But then the other night on SmackDown, she did kind of like a split atomic drop. I don't know what the fuck she did. She did it real quick, but she didn't address. I was more impressed. I was more watching the fact she did the move in an address, but it looked like a pretty solid move. I don't know if that's going to be her finisher now, but it looked great when she did it. So hopefully her time on the road and doing house shows, she's got enough chops where she could put on a good match, because she's not going to be able to carry Naomi. Naomi's going to have to be the one carrying her, I imagine. So I'm not expecting a ton out of this match. I just want it to be a pretty solid match. Naomi's definitely going to retain as far as... I don't know how the fuck that Lana would beat her. I mean, it would have to take some kind of shenanigans. But I think the best thing to do is, if they want to give Lana a push, have Lana give her a really solid match. Have Naomi take her, just kind of take her lightly, and then Lana put on a great match, really give it to her, and then of course Naomi keeps it then. Tag team championship is the Usos versus the New Day. I gotta be honest, I don't give a shit about this match. I'm pretty bored. The SmackDown tag team, the tag team division in SmackDown, is pretty much the worst part of the show right now. I mean, I don't know what they're doing. You never see the Ascension. You never see American Alpha. Like, they've been completely written off, it seems like. The Clones are... Who gives a shit about them? I'm sorry, but I just don't give a fuck. The Hype Brothers being back, like I said, if they keep them as a tag team, that's another solid tag team. I don't know. I think the New Day... to me, the New Day getting the belts makes the most sense, because they can at least bring, something to, like, people will want to see the New Day. I'm a little beaten by their shtick, but they do have a good thing going. The fans love them. They engage. They are different. They don't come out like Enzo and Cass and do the same shtick every fucking time. At least they mix it up, and they're entertaining. I think that would be the best way to kind of rejuvenate the tag team division. So I'm going to say that New Day takes the titles home. And I think another reason why Naomi and New Day gets the titles is because usually when the title scene kind of goes down, you're not going to want to have all heels win, all faces win. And when I get to my next couple predictions, you'll pretty much understand that. Man, this is going to be a quick, just Jinder Mahal versus Randy Orton. I don't give a fuck about this match either. Jinder Mahal's going to win and retain, because there will be more interference from the fucking Bollywood boys, or the Singh brothers, as they're called on SmackDown now. I didn't think the first match was really that great, and I don't really expect a lot to be this. I'm sorry, Jinder Mahal's okay as a mid-carder. If they're just trying to get promotion for India and promote WWE over there, then it's typical WWE, but I don't... Look, I was bored with Randy Orton having the title. I don't think he should have had it anyway. And now the rumors are John Cena comes back July 4th, and then this will end this little feud between him and Orton, and then Cena comes back and, of course, automatically throws his fucking hat in the ring for a title defense against Jinder at SummerSlam. So get ready for that. That's my one rumor I'm throwing at you, and I'm moving on. Now to the two big money matches. The women's Money in the Bank ladder match. It's going to have Charlotte Flair, Becky Lynch, Natalya, Carmella, and Tamina Snuka. Now, or Tamina Snuka. Now, I think, look, no offense to Natalya, I don't like her. I've said that on the show before. She could put on a good match occasionally. Her and Charlotte had a pretty good match on SmackDown the other night. It is probably the best match I've seen out of her in a long ass time. But she's not going to win it. Natalya's not getting this. And Charlotte Flair doesn't need the Money in the Bank. She is the top women's star on, whether she's on Raw or SmackDown. She's the top star in the in the company for WWE. So she does not need it. So basically, you're looking at Becky Lynch, Carmella, and Tamina. Tamina just got back. She's kind of got to reestablish herself. I think usually they want to give this probably to someone to either kind of rejuvenate a career a little bit or to boost a career that hasn't really taken off. So for me, it comes down to two people, either Carmella or Becky Lynch winning. And for some reason, ever since they announced this on the rumor mill, this match, before they even announced it on the show, and I even knew who else was going to be in it, which you pretty much knew they're going to throw every woman in it, Carmella was the one that popped at the top of my mind. She gets pretty much the least amount of play of those, but she could be the most annoying heel type character. And if they want a heel, because like I said, Naomi will retain, then to me it makes sense for her to get it, just to give her a little bit of a boost. And I could also see James Ellsworth falling around like the douche he is, carrying that stupid briefcase with him. And like I said, I could see him interfering in some way to help her get the briefcase. So I'm going with Carmella. I've heard a few people say that they think, Becky or Tamina. I don't think anybody's got Natalya. And like I said, Charlotte would be zero or last on the list of potentials for that one. Becky makes a little bit of sense too, because she was kind of at the top for a while and she's kind of been just middling for a while. I could see her getting it and maybe we get a heel turn or something. But like I said, I'm going with Carmella. Now the big match. The men. Okay, so we have AJ Styles, Kevin Owens, Shinsuke Nakamura, Dolph Ziggler, Sami Zayn, and Baron Corbin. I'll just say this. Kevin Owens, of course, already has the United States title. Makes no sense for him to walk around with the briefcase either, to be honest with you. I'm totally ruling him out. I'm ruling Sami Zayn out. I don't see Sami Zayn getting it. I know they would probably... Because you got to remember, this is the briefcase to go for the big championship. If Kevin Owens had the big title, I could see him doing it just so that we could get Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens again, because evidently, like on Raw, they love doing the same matches that we just saw on SmackDown. Since we had them on Raw, let's redo the whole fucking storyline again on SmackDown, because we saw Zayn and Owens on Raw, and it's kind of frustrating. Oh, when I go to Great Balls of Fire, I know I'm going to just see fucking nothing but rematches from Extreme Rules. God damn it. Oh well, anyway, we'll get into that when the time comes. So, I've rolled out Sami Zayn, and I've rolled out AJ Styles too, because AJ, like Charlotte, doesn't need it. He doesn't need to have that briefcase. He is always a contender for the championship. So, him, Owens, and Zayn are out. I don't think Dolph Ziggler is going to get it, although they made him look strong in a couple matches against AJ, actually winning one even. I just don't see it happening. So that kind of brings it down to Shinsuke or Baron Corbin, which at the end of SmackDown the other night, of course, Baron was about to get the briefcase, and then Shinsuke knocked him on his ass, and he was the one that was holding the briefcase high as the closing credits set, which just tends to make me believe that, yes, it will be Baron Corbin that gets it. And I think that would be great for him to get it. And then if, like I said, going back to, like I brought up the Cena thing, if Cena comes back, gets the title at SummerSlam, then that could at least set up, some matches with Corbin for the next few months to kind of run things out until we start getting into the heart of, next year. Because really the build for WrestleMania will start, like they always say, kind of, it's after SummerSlam, but it's not really. I mean, it's too far out. I think you can get a good couple months in, a couple pay-per-views with Baron Corbin, constantly, coming at him with that briefcase, and maybe even fucking sneaking one in, taking it, and seeing he could get the title back, or they could put on AJ, could take it away from Corbin at that point. And I heard one podcast say that the best thing to do would be have Shinsuke win the Money in the Bank, and then basically come out and say, I'm saving it. I'm going to cash it in for the title for the main event at WrestleMania next year, which would be awesome. And then, over the next handful of months, they could have AJ end up winning the title back. And then you get the Shinsuke AJ feud at WrestleMania, which would be fucking fantastic. But you know what? That's an awesome... That would be so fucking great. So they're definitely not going to do that. So anyway, that went longer than I thought. I didn't mean to really take so long, but I start talking wrestling. It's been so long. And, got to throw in my 2 or 3 cents. Anyway, if you stuck with me again, I'm going to throw it at you one last time. Go to iTunes, rate and comment on the show. Your favorite show now that I'm back, the Utterly Pointless Podcast, with me, your host, Michael. Check out my other show, The Intellectual Saviors. Check out my friend Eric's show, The Totally Worthless Podcast, and my friend Brad's show, Andy and the Bradtastic Voyage, all on the Intellectual Saviors Podcast Network. Until next time, go fuck yourselves.
Get the fuck out!